Alright, this video I'm going to speak about the luxury bicycle versus the luxury car. Um, I'm going to be promoting both. I know in my past videos I was really promoting the bicycle lifestyle a lot, and then I got into the luxury bicycles, the road bikes, the very high quality road bikes that are thousands of dollars, but I really like those bikes. And I lived the bicycle lifestyle until 2000 until about 2015, let's say. So about 15 years. And then about a year ago is when I purchased a luxury vehicle, and then now that's become a part of my life as well. So now I can't really claim myself to just be all bike and that's it. Now I do both. I bike and I drive. And I have the benefits of both worlds. And I've learned to appreciate both. Obviously the bike is better because it's healthier for you. You get to ride places and exercise. And one of the main things about the bicycle lifestyle that I liked back then was it was like a way of making money and saving money and just changing your lifestyle and how you live. So when you own a bike and you don't have a car and your main means of transportation is the bicycle, that changes your decision on a lot of things. It changes the way you grocery shop. It changes the job locations that you choose. It changes, the places that you choose to go. It changes how often you leave the home. It changes the way you dress. There's a lot of things that change. So off the bat, you start saving a lot of money, if you learn to live your life without a car. So you don't have to pay car insurance. Car insurance usually might cost maybe say $100 a month. You don't have to pay gas. Gas might cost $200 a month. That's already $300 that you're saving there. You don't got to pay the car note. Car note might be $300 a month, or at least say $200 a month. So that's already $500 that you're saving. You don't got to pay for speeding tickets and parking tickets. You don't got to pay for license and registration, which costs more money. So roughly you might be saving $500 a month by not owning a vehicle. And that that gets, money gets saved, and then you use the bike to get to where you need to go. You bike to work year round, and you bike to the grocery store with a trailer in the back where you could put the groceries in the trailer. Even if you have kids, you could put the kids in the trailer. So you could bike with the kids, you could bike for groceries, you could bike to the store and lock up your bike to work, and you're saving about $500 per month doing that. Okay? And I was promoting that lifestyle, and I lived that lifestyle for about 15 years. Alright? And I even chose my job location because I wanted to live close to work. So I chose my job location based on the fact that I didn't have a car. And I didn't want a car. I just didn't like the stresses involved with having a car. Another thing that I didn't mention is the maintenance fees of the cars as well. That costs a lot of money. So I still promote the lifestyle. I love the lifestyle. But in Chicago, you have probably over 6 months where it's cold weather. If I lived in like LA, California or Florida, where it's warm and hot year round, I really don't think I would need a car, because I'll just bike all the time. Even right now, even owning a luxury car, when it's nice out, I don't want to drive. I want to bike, because I want to enjoy the weather and I want to exercise, So I still love the bike, but in Chicago, it's so cold, like half the year. Like right now, it's 22 degrees. Tomorrow, it's supposed to be like below zero. And and it's like really cold. Now, I used to live much closer to work. I was like literally half a mile away from work, from my school, and I just biked to work within a couple minutes. And the grocery store was right nearby, just a couple blocks away. When I didn't need a car because my job location was so close, and I chose to be that way because it didn't have a car. Now, it was a challenge having, 4 kids and eventually 5 kids without a car. But we did what we can to make it work, and we stayed in a lot. We didn't really go many places because we couldn't really get anywhere, because the most that you could put in a trailer is 2 children. So we lived indoors a lot. We didn't really go out that much, which was fine. So we're fine without a car. But what ended up changing was we ended up moving further away from my job location, and it's like 5 miles away from my school. And I was biking it, year round when I initially moved there. But what I did notice is that I got sick a lot more often, because I had to bike to work, bike back, and then at nighttime bike there again, and then bike back. And sometimes I train people in between. I gotta bike there and bike back. It was wearing down on my body, because not only was I training really hard while I was here, morning and night, but I was also biking back and forth, and it just took a lot of my energy out of me. And the cold weather with the high winds made it even worse. Even though I bundled up and I had, heavy coat on and long, compression pants and compression shirts, and had face guards, face masks, had high quality wind resistant gloves. When you're battling weather below zero and you're biking, it wears your body down, and I was getting sick more often. So I decided to put my money into a car, and I just didn't want to get any car because, my father had regular cars like Toyotas, but I wanted to try the luxury, and I ended up purchasing a luxury car like a BMW, and I started driving that, and I really loved the way it drove. It changed the whole driving experience into something very enjoyable. So rather than just like getting from point A to point B and you're just driving just to get somewhere, it wasn't just about driving to get somewhere. It was about enjoying the driving experience, like, something that's very comfortable and just feels good, just like a luxury bike. It just makes the whole riding experience so much better, and then you just love it. And that's how the cars are as well. Like when you have a luxury car, it just changes the whole driving experience. So then it's not even just about driving for practical purposes to get somewhere. It's about driving for pleasure. Okay, so I do recommend both. It does cost money, and it is a luxury. To have a car, it is a luxury, and it does cost about $500 a month, and you need to have that money available in order to take advantage of that joy. But the thing about the car that you can't do with the bike is that you might have to spend $500 a month. But that car, because of technologies like Uber and Lyft, it can allow you to make that money back to pay for the car. Even with the Uber Select or even with the Uber X, you can still make money to at least pay off the car. You can make $500 a month driving the ride sharing apps and pay for all of that. But with the Uber Select, where you get a higher pay rate, and then and you have a luxury vehicle, you make a lot more money. So you could end up profiting. So You could make money to pay off the car bills and then make money on top of that as well, where you can't do that with a bike. Like, the bike will just save you $500 per month, when you don't own a car. But it's not going to help you make more money on top of that, other than just, gas. Like every time you're riding the bike, you're saving on gas. But, the motor vehicle really allows you opportunities to profit. So, essentially, the motor vehicle is not necessarily a bad investment, because the motor vehicle could actually get you motivated to work even more. So, even when I'm training people, when you could drive to different locations, it just opens up the opportunity for you to train more people in different areas, rather than just restricting yourself to just one location. And then you're also more likely to take more jobs because you don't mind the commute, because you're protected from the elements of the weather. From the raining and the snowing primarily, and the high winds. And from driving the car, I barely ever get sick, because I don't have to worry about the high winds and the cold. And then also the car allows me to transport my children, to come to the facility to train. If there was no car, we wouldn't be able to do that. We have to have a car in order to get them to this facility to train, because it's 5 miles away. There's just a lot of benefits to owning the car. And yes, it does cost about $500 per month, but the opportunities to profit are there, and it ends up becoming an investment, even the luxury vehicles, because if your car qualifies to be a part of the luxury vehicle that's qualified to be under Uber Select, that gives you a pay raise, it gives you a promotion, and then you make a lot more money. So then the money that you put into the car, you're going to end up making that money back. So the car will end up working for that service, will end up paying for the car and giving you even more money on top of that the more you work. So that's the thing, if you could find a way to make money off of the things that you spend money on, then that is an investment. And that's the one thing that I started to see. Without being involved with Uber to make money, then it is a luxury, and it is something that you are losing money in order to gain the benefits of that luxury. Not having to worry about dealing with the elements of the weather. Raining, snowing, and really, really cold temperatures. Okay, so for someone in my life situation right now, being 5 miles away from work, living in a city where half of the year it's like really cold, it's good to have the luxury vehicle for half the year during those times where the weather's not good, and then have the luxury bike for the times when the weather is really good. And it's also good to be able to make money off the use of the motor vehicle. So I clearly am not turning against the motor vehicles. I promote the luxury motor vehicles, I promote the luxury bicycles, and I even promote the firearms. I promote the martial arts without weapons. It's like I'm embracing the technology. Even the cell phones, there are issues associated with it distracting us in certain times in our life, but that cell phone is being effectively utilized to make a lot of money. It betters the business because of marketing through text messaging and instant access to the email and internet. And it also provides opportunity to make money through, apps like the Uber, through the ride sharing. So that is a very important tool to make even more money. So there is no sense in turning against the cell phone. There's no sense in turning against the motor vehicle. There's no sense in turning against the bicycle. Like, embracing technology to live a more comfortable lifestyle, to make more money, it's part of adapting to this modern world that we live in. And that's why, it's Freddie's modern kung fu. We do use guns, we use cell phones, we drive cars, we ride bicycles, we train in unarmed combat. We utilize certain technologies of which we see benefit in the technologies. So there really is no need to turn against the car. It's only you have to make the decision for what works best for your life. If I lived so close to work as I used to in the past, I still might not have a car. But if I found out about the ride sharing and find out how much money I could actually make, then I might have invested in it. I might not have. But now that I've already invested into the car, for the use for my family and for getting to work quickly without having to worry about getting sick, I already have it there. Yes, the expense is there, but now that there's an opportunity to make money off of that car through Uber and like ride sharing programs, it just completely takes away any reasons to speak against owning a car, because you could easily make up the cost of the car through working through this service to pay for the car, and not just pay for the car but profit as well. And that's where the world is headed. I love bicycles, but almost everybody out there is driving, and people need to get to one place to another, and the most efficient way to do that is through a car. It's not through a bicycle, because essentially the majority of the population out there, they are not going to bike. So they need somebody to take them from one place to another. And the most efficient way to do that is not by horse, it's not by bike, but it's from a car. So that's a way to provide service to the public. And yes, you're not exercising at that moment like how you would in a bicycle, but you can still very easily practice meditation during that time of commute. And that's what I've been doing. And I've essentially found a way to get paid to meditate, and that's through the meditation of driving. So biking is great, and also driving can be great. And that's what I wanted to share with you today.